Well, unlike other channels, I try to maintain consistency, and well, the last couple phases of the MCU have been divisive. Now, I've been supportive of some aspects, like Eternals, well as Multiverse of Madness, which, for whatever reason, gets a lot of hatred. But they've had a few clunky moments with She-Hulk, and although Captain America looks good and looks better than before, yeah, some recent stuff with the poster as well as the trailers, like they don't seem to know what they're doing. That said, the teaser for Fantastic Four, which we're looking at here, and again, it's not really much. It's really just these kids looking at, I assume, a spaceship that has a Fantastic Four. Nevertheless, that as a taste does give you a lot of confidence that Fantastic Four will probably be a much, much better project than Superman. I'm sure Superman is more anticipated, and I'll be honest, I'm more curious what they're up to, but I'm more curious in like the Amelia Perez kind of sense of the word that I'm curious if it's not totally garbage, but that's where I am with the confidence of Superman. So what are we getting? Well, there's a big controversy back and forth, and I will say I think John Campea is wrong. Campea has been insisting, yes, it looks like the 60s, 1960s aesthetics with the fashion, the costumes. It's not set in the 1960s. Those kids are clearly in clothes of the 1960s. This is clearly from the 1960s. So unless they're doing a weird radical shift where people just still wear 60s clothing and fashion in the 1990s, that's the 1960s. So presumably they're keeping that part of the canon where, yes, the Fantastic Four were born in the 1960s. However, there are some major divergences. Obviously, this did not happen. They weren't being filmed live to a bunch of multiracial kids. That's also clearly not the real 60s. The idea that black and white children with an Asian woman in the background would just be there, even for New York, that's pretty unlikely. So I'm giving this teaser a very high score. I'm really, really excited. So I'm giving this an 8.5, just the cinematography alone, because too many MCU projects just don't have a distinct color or tone at all. Now, again, even if the film is bad, it looks okay. It's like Captain Marvel looks fine because it's meant to be a very goofy, fun adventure. The problem is they just keep repeating the same tone. It's just bright and happy, bright and happy, bright and happy, bright and happy, bright, bright colors, bright, bright colors. There's almost no real shift. Like Multiverse of Madness at least tried to do something closer to the horror aesthetic, but that's an exception to the rule. So it at least has a style. Again, I'm a little skeptical of the creative team. However, again, it does seem to have a really strong style, production design. So it will look good. It sounds good. It actually looks like they're being serious about the production. That said, some questions. Why do we have a female Silver Surfer? I don't understand that. They don't need to do that, but all right. So that's I'm a little nervous there. I'm also more concerned that apparently the Fantastic Four are an official government agency. That is not canonical. When they were born, that was an illegal mission. They broke in. They weren't supposed to be in space. That's what makes the whole thing a tragic happening, right? They didn't know it was going to happen because they weren't authorized. So apparently they have to be getting some kind of authorization. So is that them on the shuttle, or did they intervene? They're called for an emergency. It does seem like this is a rewriting where they are, quote, official American heroes, which, again, is fine. I mean, they did go public. That is true. However, the very beginning, they are technically criminals. So I wish they just stuck closer to the origins. I don't know why they keep changing things. I don't know. It's very weird. Okay, so the look and what we're getting so far, especially the behind the scenes photos, it's getting an A minus from me. So it does look like a very serious project. And we will be getting Galactus apparently, and even Monster Island. So some doubts, but so far so good. But I don't know why shifting it so much to make them official government agents. That just seems a little weird. And apparently the real trailer will be tomorrow. So this is just a taste. Presumably they're going to incorporate little bits and pieces. And it's really funny. James Gunn did the identical thing. He released a teaser with the minor characters and the background people, and then the official trailer. And yeah, that teaser looked horrific. It just looked really cheap. It looked like Amelia Perez cheap. So I was like, that was just weird. I thought it was fake. I thought it was like a AI thing. No, that's real. That was the official teaser. And I'm like, okay, listen, it's fine. You want to make Superman bright in this version, but there's between making him bright and it just looks really cheap. So I don't know. So at least the teasers so far for Fantastic Four are really, really spectacular. But will they actually do something good with the trailer and the film itself? Don't know, but definitely a portion of it will be in the 1960s. So I think Campy is wrong with his sources, but we'll double check that. Thanks for listening.